Hey, what's up, YouTube? It's Richie from Boston. I drank way too much 𝗦𝗵𝗿𝗶𝗹 coffee. My stomach doesn't feel too smooth right now. At any rate, there's a lot of law enforcement. There's a lot of military guys that follow this channel, and I'm well aware of that because you email me all the time. I need to remind you guys that all of us swore an oath to protect this country from foreign and domestic. Our country has been usurped. Our country was taken over a long time ago. And I'm going to give you a few examples. The tanks the Nazis used to kill people and try to kill people like my grandfathers. They didn't kill my grandfathers. They both made it home. Those were made by Henry Ford. Ford Motor Company sued the United States government in 1951 because the government bombed Ford's tank-making facilities in Germany and won. That's a fact. And it's not something you're going to see in the newspaper, but you can research it. You can find this information out because it's real. Saddam Hussein. I signed up to join the army and also to get out of going to jail. But still, I did sign up. I did it voluntarily to go fight Saddam Hussein the first time around, the mother of all wars. Remember that? I read everything I could about the Ba'ath Party, all of Saddam Hussein's information, everything. I was all about it. I was all about it. And it turns out that was all a farce. It turns out that our own government put Saddam Hussein into position to use at a later time to go to war with, because all they do is keep Americans under the specter of evil forces, terrorism, communism, Nazism. It's always some sort of ism, but when you look back in it, the same people that run for governors, run for senators, own all the corporations, run absolutely everything, write the laws, run the FDA, run the FCC, run everything, finance both sides of the wars, and they always have. They figured out that under the banner of support our troops, they can get Americans to do anything. And all of this is nothing more than the same story that it's always been. Rich people tricking poor people into dying for each other so they can make money, make money, make money, make money, make money. John F. Kennedy tried to warn us. Secret societies, secret cabals, all that stuff. And they killed him. Look that up. Understand that. And understand one thing. The Bush family, ever since Prescott Bush, George Herbert Walker Bush's father, George Walker Bush, grandfather, was financing the Nazis. And he never got in any trouble for it. Not only was he financing the Nazis, him and a bunch of other enormous corporations that are still here to this day that basically run everything, they all tried to take over the United States with a 500,000-man army back before World War II. And you know how I know that? And you know how you should know that? General 𝗦𝗵𝗿𝗶𝗹. General 𝗦𝗵𝗿𝗶𝗹. He came out, he went before Congress. He brought this information to the President of the United States. and told them. And you know what happened? Nothing. Because the president was afraid all of these heads of corporations would put the country back into a Great Depression again. This has been going on for time immemorial. They just keep pulling up more and more enemies. Now suddenly, everywhere you turn, there's a crazed American legal gun owner that's shooting up this, that, and the other thing. And if you look behind any one of the stories, you'll find either A, there's a drill going on for the exact scenario that they put forth in the mainstream and call it real, or the guy had some ties to the CIA. Do you wonder why police are so easily... When I was a kid, police officers were police officers. Now they're law enforcement. The country went down the tubes because of drugs. Do you know how Pablo Escobar became such a giant cartel? Central Intelligence Agency. The same CIA that Kennedy warned everybody about, tried to get rid of, and they got rid of him instead. The Bush family, the Bush family, the Bush family. I guarantee if my grandfather got hit for working with or financing the Nazis, I would never be president, and neither would my father. And yet that's exactly what happened. You know why you don't hear about it in schools or in the newspapers? Because these same corporations own the schools' curriculum and they own the newspapers. The people behind everything are Satanists, and there's a reason for that. These people have got their power and their technology from using occult practices. They are going to try to enslave the entire world, and it's exactly what they're doing right now, because now everything's global. Well, who says everything's global? The newspapers, the news. There is no more free press. These people have taken over everything, and it's time to figure out what side you're on. You don't want to be one of those guys that was simply following orders. Every one of us that were in the military that swore that oath only applies if it's constitutional. It's time to figure out which side you're on. The people that run everything are obviously evil. If they weren't, you wouldn't have Flint, Michigan. You wouldn't have Fukushima completely being ignored by the media as though it isn't to this very instant poisoning the ocean and killing off everything. You wouldn't have places like Harvard spraying the skies. Every single thing I just told you isn't a theory, it's a fact. Just because you don't know it doesn't make it not true. Richie from Boston. Share this or don't. I'm out.